Hello, my friends, Luke here. I've poured myself 2 fingers of scotch, I have made a battle report, I've sat in my comfy chair, and I'm going to teach you about Speedhammer. What is Speedhammer, you ask? Well, thank you for asking, and you look very handsome today. Speedhammer is my gaming group's attempt to make us faster at the game. The idea is we're going to play 3 games. They're 1,000 point armies. You are going to have 1 hour from start to finish, including deployment. When that hour starts, deploy, roll spells, go. 1 hour to make fast decisions and see how quick you can be and where you can learn from your mistakes. I think it's a great idea. Last month we did this army swap hammer with 1,500 point armies. Show up and you just randomly get assigned to someone else's army, learn it and go. So it was pretty fun. I didn't do battle reports for that because nobody showed up with painted armies. Half the stuff wasn't even assembled, but we had a good time. So Speedhammer. I don't have any pictures of what the armies look like because, even in between games we're going quick, but this is my first opponent, my buddy Zach. He's playing Bretonnia, and I'm there on the right if you have never seen a picture of me. So I showed up the Orcs and Goblins. Why? Because I am a whiner. I barely can play vampire counts because I'm such a baby about how dependent they are on the magic phase right now anyway. Oh, I got a bad Winds of Magic 2 turns in a row. I'll whine like crazy and say my army can't compete. So there's no way I'm going to play at 1,000 points. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but in addition to Speedhammer rules, you are not allowed lords. No lords. That's a problem, because that's a whole bucket of things and items and stuff that you can't have, because you can only go 250 points in your hero slot. So that was really tough. Now, when going into the army, I knew I wanted to play Orcs and Goblins, and because my good friend Mr. Malorian made an Orc Tactical Team video telling me about the beauty of the Goblin hero on the Great Cave Squig, I had to take him. I knew I was going to do that. So because no lords, that really limited what I can do. I couldn't have even a normal orc as my BSB because I needed an orc to be a general. So the only way I could do that was I could make my Cave Squig my general, but then he's Inspiring Presence 6. That's not very inspiring. I got trolls. So no. He had to be the BSB because I had to have a level 1 in with my savages. I have to have one character. I have to have a general. I had never realized that before. I never tried, but you actually have to have a general in an army. So I have a level 1 in with the savages. He has a Lucky Shrunken Head. And then I've got my Cave Squig I'm excited to try. Now, let me put a disclaimer in here. Malorian did not advise to make your cheap throwaway hero your BSB. That's because I'm stupid and I didn't have any other way to do it in Speedhammer. But I love this guy. He's great. Go watch Malorian's video. Teach you all about it. So, Bretonnia. What do we got to fight here? First off, he's got 2 realms. We'll look at the right side of the board first. He's got 2 Lances of Knights of the Realm. The one on the left has his BSB in it. So he's rocking no casters and no trebuchets. What do I have? I've got my Goblin Hero, the BSB. I've got 6 Trolls, which I knew I wanted to take because I've been painting them up. I'm up to 9 River Trolls painted up now. I fell in love with that horde, so hopefully someday I'll get there again. Got a Mangler Squig because you cannot leave home without one. I have a bunch of savages, like 24 looks like somewhere in there, and then my level 1 in there. With the level 1, he's the general, putting out an Inspiring Presence of 8. I think it's 8, maybe 7. Maybe 7 on the hero. And then he's got the Lucky Shrunken Head for the 5-up ward save on the group. Then I have a Goblin Chariot. Lastly, on my left, I have a Squig Herd, because they're pretty fun. And I've got a good size of them. What did I think? I had 18 and 6 handlers. So that's a pretty good group. They've got, strike 5, double attacks. I think I could chew through a lot of stuff. On his left flank, he has a group of mounted yeomen that have not vanguarded yet. Then he has his general in with a group of Grail Knights. And so that's fairly hard hitting. But I'm thinking, you know what, I'll land a couple wounds with my whole bunch of attacks. I'll get through his armor on like half of them because I'm strength 5. Maybe not half, maybe a little less than half, but I'll explode and I'll just tie him up. So that's my plan when we were doing deployment here. So he wins the turn to go first. This picture is before he took his Vanguard movement, so the yeomen end up where the blue arrow is. Wins the first turn, but he's Bretonnia. He takes a knee so he can pray and get his ward save. Okay, no problem. So we go to Greenskins turn 1. I roll super high distance for the Mangler, bounces through the Yeoman, and bounces into the Knight Lance with the BSB in it. So there was no room at the edge of the board. We had small 9-inch deployment zones so that we could keep the foot between us. There's no room at the edge of the board for the Mangler to bounce off. So basically, it's in the FAQ, they say that what happens is the Mangler You basically treat it as if those Bretonnians walked on the Mangler. They take an extra d6 and the Mangler dies. So the Yeomen get blown up all the hell. There's horse chunks everywhere. The Mangler lands I think it was 8 hits, only 8 hits, didn't roll that well, 6 wounds, and he armor and ward saved them all. I was like, my God, it's going to be one of these games, oh no! So the Mangler's dead, and I didn't really get, I mean, we triggered panic tests, but didn't do anything, and I did not get to decimate that like I thought. Stupid Bretonnia, high armor saves. So my Savage group fails Animosity. That will teach me to not take a Black Orc, and everyone else just moves up. My plan is to throw those squigs at the Grails, slam into who I can. I actually re-rolled the random movement charge distance on the Goblin Hero because he went a little too far, and he's got that Supreme Bounder rule, so you can re-roll it. So I re-rolled it so it would be shorter, and I wouldn't be too far out there on my own. There's no magic because I failed Animosity, and we do shooting, and I land a bow shot and actually kill one of the frickin' Knights of the Realm with my Goblin. I was like, man, that whole Goblin was better than that entire Mangler. It was awesome. So we go to Bretonnia turn 1. He doesn't do any charges because I'm a little too far out, and he just backs up a couple inches there. I don't have a picture of it. We're doing Speedhammer. I'm barely able to even get notes in here. The arrow on the right, you can see kind of by that tree, shows that he decided to try to swift reform, and he passed it, so he swift reformed his Grails and started moving them over here. That was a good plan, but here's what happened. He gave me his flank, and I made a decent long charge on movement 4. I made it. I think I needed, I don't know, 8 or 9, something like that. So it was a decent long charge, but I made it and got into his flank, so that's bad for him. Yeah, he's got armor save, but those guys are going to chew him up. So I declared the charge. I also declared the charge on the front with the Goblin. Get on in there. I have no Animosity this turn. The Trolls tried to charge. I think it was the Middle Lance, because I think I was going to direct so many attacks at the BSB. I think that's what I was going to do. The Trolls failed the charge, and so that's it for charges. I move up with my Savages just as much as I can, but before that, my Cave Squig, I bounce him straight across just because he's got no shooting. I really don't have to worry about the vulnerability of that guy. I'm just going to try to position him with my random movement, bounce him off things so that I can keep re-rolls where I need them. That's what's going on there. Go to Magic. The only spell I have by level 1 is Hand of Gork, and I get it off because he has Army Dispel, and I move my Savages up. So now I've set my little kill zone here, which I'm very happy about. He can charge the Trolls, I'm thinking, as much as he wants. I'll flank charge him if he charges me. I've got Trolls there, and I'm thinking, yep, those Grails are going to do some damage, but even if they kill me or break me, I'm going to blow up. Those guys are gone. That's what I'm thinking at this point. We go to combat, and holy crap. I do 2 impact hits with my Goblin Chariot. He ward saves both of them. He does 4 wounds to my squigs, and that's okay because I've still got a ton of them. I've still got 14, so all my squig attacks are still coming back at his flank. I do 8 wounds to him, which is probably not that good. I mean, he's higher weapon skill, but I do 8, and he armor saves them all. Even though they're strength 5, he armor saves every single one. Does a couple wounds to me, and I break. My chariot breaks. I think I took that wound from dangerous terrain through my own dudes. And he's able to reform and face my squigs. So I'm down a rank of squigs. I haven't done anything to him, and I've panicked away my chariot. Just nothing. It was terrible luck. It was unbelievable, but that happens, right? So I'm thinking, plan's still in motion. I still got a whole other turn of chewing him. He's going to lose, you know, whatever lance bonus he might have in there, and I'm just going to chew him up. And even if he kills them and breaks me, I'm going to blow up. So I'm still okay with this. We're okay, people. So returning to turn 2. He charges both lances into the Trolls, and I'm thinking, great. Okay, he's going into the Trolls, no problem. I mean, yeah, he's got to get him at some point. He's going to try to break them and whatever. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. And maybe he won't overrun too far. And then I'm like, oh no, wait. If he's going into those Trolls, yeah, he's got Flaming. He has the Worm Lance. So basically it lets him unleash a Flaming Breathen, a Flaming Breath weapon at strength 5. So he does that first in combat. He has no magic, go right to combat. Gets 6 hits and lands 2 wounds. So those 2 wounds take away my regen. Everyone else goes to town, and he kills just a couple of them. Well, I think he kills maybe the back rank. I have a bunch of pukes left, 3 of them. I roll 2 1s on the pukes, trying to puke on the BSB, and I only do 1 wound. So I do 1 wound to him. He breaks me. and runs me down. The good part is that while the left lance or the right lance got away, the left one did not go very far. And if you can see right there, those savages cannot fail a charge on them. No way. The only way I can fail is if I screw up animosity real bad. So yeah, I'm going to get a nice charge off on him. That sucked with the flaming, but hey, what are you going to do? And that's basically it for Bretonnia's turn over here. We do the combat with the Grail Knights. I do two wounds to him this time, and that's it. Like I do 2 to him, and I have all these attacks. It's just as many attacks. What is that? 12 in the front, 18 total attacks. I do 2 to him, just 2. I do not like it's all just bad rolling on my part, and then the few that I get through, he ward saves and armor saves. It's crazy. So he does a bunch to me, and I break and explode. And sorry, I was wrong. I didn't do anything in combat. I exploded and did 2 wounds to him. So that was crazy. I mean, those Grails were just impossible. I could not get through the armor. It was unreal. So that sucks. We got a Greenskin turn 3, and I'm feeling it now. You can see he's reformed up there. So I try to bounce my hero, my BSB, into his general. I want to try to assassinate him because, you know, I've got a decent armor save. Got, you know, 6 strength 5 attacks. I think I can do this. I fail the bounce distance, I re-roll it, and I fail it again. So I'm not even effectively blocking. I'm just kind of right there. The chariot rallies, and I make my charge with the savages, you can see there. So I was so close. I could only maximize getting 2 in. So I've got 2 plus the supporting attacks in the back rank. And we're just going to have to make it work with the combat res. During Magic, I am able to get handoff, which is great because I just move the squig up where I need him. So now I'm chaffing up the Grails, and he can't charge his hero out. He has to deal with my guy first. I can't flee, but I wouldn't want to flee anyway, so I'm just going to sacrifice the BSB. I'm all in now, baby. In close combat, like I said, 2 guys can attack. That equates 9 attacks with the supporting ranks. I roll terrible. He just armor saves and ward saves it. So we each end up doing 1. I win by 3, and he's got 2 chances at a 5 re-rollable because his BSB's there. And he rolls it first time. Then he's able to reform on the re-roll as well. It's like, oh, dude, that sucks. Because Bretonnia's got 2 ranks here. I've only got 1. Yeah, this isn't gonna be good. You know what I mean? I'm just worried about this. I'm worried. My luck is so bad right now. I haven't made anything. It's starting to become a joke. Up at the top here, so he charges. He charges my goblin, can't flee. He's going to probably punk him. I'm trying to remember if I have another picture of that. Yeah, we just go right into combat here. We're flying. He kills my goblin, no problem. We do 1 wound to each other, and that's it. I mean, I think it was a tie completely because maybe I won by 1. I think I seem to have 1 more full rank than he does. But yeah, 1 to 1. Both have banners. Oh, but he has a BSB. So, yeah, I think it was a tie. And so now I'm stuck in with him. The Grails are right there. I got to make something happen, but I don't know what I can do here. I don't really have any idea. So I'm no one to charge with the only other unit that's not in combat. I just moved the chariot to chaff up that. I don't need 2 flank charges here. In hindsight, I might have been able to get, with movement 9, I might have been able to chaff up those Grails from the flank. Then I would have had Knights of the Realm on the other flank, you know, but... yeah, I didn't think about that at the time. I might have had the distance. Might have been a better play. Anyway, I chaff him up. We go to combat. I do like 1 wound to him. All those savages, and I'm still frenzied. I do 1 wound to him. It's amazing. And he does 3 to me. I think I had like 4 come back at me or something like that, and failed all my ward saves and everything. So I lose combat and lose frenzy at this point. And that's bad. I stick, but we all know where this is going. Bretonnia comes in on the charge. His lance kills my chariot right away. Boom, dead. And he reforms. His lance comes in, and he comes in. He does 12 wounds with those Grails. I ward save none of them. I also do no wounds back to him in the front. No wounds on the few guys that can attack on the flank. And I'm broken and run down. We counted up. Bretonnia, they tabled me, and I have killed 75 points of mounted yeomen. I have never been kicked in the teeth so hard by Bretonnia. We were rolling because my luck was so bad. All right, shake it off. Shake it off. We got to go to the next game. Game 2. I'm fighting the High Elves this time. And you can see a picture of me. I am trying to explain to this relatively new High Elf player how the hell manglers work. as he's never really seen squigs, besides just seeing him. He doesn't know how the rules work. So into the game we go. Here are his dudes. He's got a group of silver helms. He's got the dragon is a Frostheart Phoenix. He's got a group of white lions, so they're nice and stubborn with the strength 6. I think they're strength 6, right? Yeah, I think they're 6, maybe 5, something like that. They're elves with great weapons. Then he has a group of spears, and he has a level 1 caster in there, and whatever the guy's name is, the white lion hero, he put him in there so that that group is also stubborn, but they're just spears. And this is after movement, so Speedhammer. We're going fast here, people. Greenskins turn 1. I do not make my impressive charge or my impressive random movement with the Mangler this time, so he's just out in front. Everyone else moves up. No animosity problems. I actually bounce the Goblin hero off the building there on the left because I don't want him going up there. Just need to hold him back for some leadership at this time. And that's basically it. So I have no magic. Well, I have one spell. It's Here We Go. And I thought, nah, he's probably not going to charge. Who's going to go in there? So I decide not to even try to cast it. Because I'm thinking, yeah, I could miscast. He could have Vols on Making. I don't know what spell he has. Who knows? So I decide not to cast it. Which is probably not the best idea, because we go to Elves turn 1. He declares a charge with the Frostheart Phoenix and with the White Lions into me. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I should have had rerolls up by now. Thank God he fails his charge with the Frostheart Phoenix. Goes a couple inches, and now my Mangler's like, hello, friend, I'm a-coming. Well, the White Lions make it in, but what are you going to do? I'm going to be stuck with them unless I just obliterate them because they're stubborn. But, we've got some help coming. We'll see what we can do. He moves up his spears. We go to the magic phase, and he has the Lure of Fire. And so he casts Juiced Up Fireball, and I think, I wasn't able to stop it. He lands 5 wounds on me. And it was, I wasn't able to stop it because it was a miscast. So during his miscast, he killed 3 elves, put a wound on his wizard, and put a wound on Corhill. I think that's his name, Corhill. Just jumped in my mind. That could be totally wrong. But he put a wound on both heroes and killed 3 elves. And then I'm down 1 troll, 2 wounds on the next. So survived that. It was all right. So in close combat, he lands 10 wounds on me with those sons of bitches. And I ward save 1 of them. And I'm looking at my dice, and I'm like, God dang it, that's not that far out of expected value, but here we go again. It's just, if those were all turned upside down, I would have taken like 4 losses. That would have been nice. I do 6 back to him because they're little punky elves, but that's not enough, and I lose combat. And I stick, but I don't have Frenzy now. And that's very sad. Savages without Frenzy is a sad, sad thing. Thankfully, he hasn't really targeted my caster with anything, so if maybe he's not thinking about that, and I can get Here We Go off and try to salvage this. But my boys need some help. Alright, so I charge my squigs. This just looks just like game 1. If you haven't noticed, I'm on the same table. Just happened to be luck of the draw. So my squigs were coming around the other side, and they hit the flank of his Frostheart Phoenix, which is great. Then I declared a charge with the trolls and with the chariot into his spears. Thinking, ooh, juicy spears, yummy. The trolls failed. So I'm thinking, well, okay, now it's a throwaway unit. I'm going to lose my chariot, but at least get a couple impact hits in, so that'll be fun. The Mangler Squig makes it through the Frostheart Phoenix, does a whole bunch of wounds, and he ward saves them all. I think his ward save was up 1 from the last magic phase, I believe. So I only landed 1 single wound on him. But the Mangler's still alive, and he's bouncing around back there, so who knows where he goes. And even if he manages to break my squigs, I'll blow up. Stupid freaking ward save, but still. Hopefully we can take out that Frostheart Phoenix. I feel good about having him pinned down here. Using the reroll and the Supreme Bounder, I'm able to get in the flank with my BSB hero. So now there's a BSB in his flank against just his guys. Now, yeah, he's stubborn, but hopefully I can break some guys out. And that's basically it for movement. During Magic, I am able to get Here We Go off, so now I will have my rerolls on my Orcs. In close combat, over here with the Squigs, I land 1 wound on him. Now, I am strength debuffed, to be fair. I'm only strength 4, but I have that whole, 18 attacks. Maybe not 18 here. But I land a bunch, or I hit a bunch. I don't get through the ward save or the toughness, really. So, that sucks. Landing 1 on him. He lands 7, and I think that's with the Thunder Stomp. I think it would have to be at this point. I break and explode. I'm thinking, okay, let's take him out. I kill 4 of the Silver Helms. I blow up my own unit. I kill the Mangler. I land no extra wounds on the Frostheart. Is that right? Yeah, I land no extra wounds on the Frostheart. He ward saves him. And I think I killed like 2 elves. So that sucked. That was totally not worth it. Sometimes those Frosthearts, they just cannot make their ward saves and they die really easy. And then there's times like this that they cannot take wounds. So that sucks. But I do a couple of impact hits when I come in on my chariot. In fact, by a couple, I mean I did 6. He only did 2 back to me with his spears, and I broke him, and I ran him down. So that's pretty fun. No panic on his little on his Frostheart, but that's pretty fun. So now I'm thinking, crap, yeah, that Frostheart's going to come in, but hopefully my trolls can back him up. Go to Elves turn 2. That's exactly what he does. Phoenix makes it into the Goblin BSB, so that's the only one that's strength debuff, by the way, not my Savages. I've lost my Choppa rule, but still, it could be worse. And that's it for movement. He's going to hide his Silver Helm for the rest of the game. It's not going to do anything. And it made its panic test originally, by the way. So he gets +1 strength for the Winds of Magic blowing, but he doesn't have a caster at this point. The Phoenix only lands 2 wounds on my Goblin. I don't remember why. He must have rolled poorly because I had a 3-up armor save, and I had like a 4-up ward versus the first wound, and that took 1 away, which actually saved my life here, but only 2 got through, which is pretty great. I actually misplayed this too because I figured, I looked, oh yeah, he's a goblin, he fears elves, and I had forgotten that basically all squigs, and even this guy's mount makes him immune to panic and psychology. So I feared myself, but I shouldn't have. Anyway, even with that, the squig lands 1 wound on the Frostheart. The Frostheart's up to 3 wounds on him now. My BSB's still there. I take 4 wounds, and I do 4 back to his main block, and we all just stick there, and that's the end of the game. This is Speedhammer, people. You cannot expect me to finish these games. So we add it all up. He did 227 points taken away from me, and thankfully I did 470. All because of that frickin' chariot, which was great. Had we kept going in this, I think I would have been in big, big trouble. I could have brought the trolls in on him, but yeah, I don't know. I think I was going to be in trouble. Real big trouble. So it's a win for me. We go on to Game 3. That's right. This is a 3-game battle report, people. You get your money's worth here. So what do we got? We have in round 3, me playing the Dark Elves. Yeah, I can't say too much about it. We're not really talking. We've both been beat up about how quickly these games are going, so we're just getting to it. The clock rings, and you can see us right there. We are freaking just deploying. Unfortunately, in this game, my opponent is pretty slow. I don't think he really internalized the fact that we need to go, go, go. I was trying to remind him, so this game does not go very long, but it's fun to watch anyway. So this is just what his army looks like after deployment. Here's mine. You can tell he's standard Dark Elves will run through it. He's got 2 groups of Blackguard. So here's one. He's got Dark Shards with his level 2 in there. He's level 2 on the lore of the Dark lore. And she ends up with Word of Pain and I think Soul Stealer, the template one. Then he's got a group of Dark Riders on the right there. He has his second group of Blackguard. So in groups of 10 like this, they're stubborn. They're pretty decent. He has a Hydra and then a second group of Dark Riders. He vanguards here just to get close enough, but not too close to the Mangler. And then he vanguards over here, so he starts shooting these squigs. So I'm just going to send the squigs forward and stuff. I win the first turn, and I'm like, oh yeah, baby, declare a charge. And, you know, it's not that far for me. And I forget, oh, that's right, Dark Riders have crossbows. Oh, and they can stand and shoot. Oh, and they can double tap. So, unfortunately, he throws a whole bunch of bolts. He lands 2 of my 3 wounds through. I'm still alive, and I fail the charge. So I'm thinking, son of a gun. I just totally internalize this, Luke. That is a bad lesson to learn. Crazy. So I failed the charge, and that's it for charges here. The Mangler goes flying up. You can see everyone's just advanced. I can't get into combat with anyone. Interesting things to note, my Mangler, here's maybe a better picture. My Mangler stopped an inch shy of him. That sucks. But, I mean, he's going to walk at me, I'm going to lose my Mangler, but if I got 1 more inch, Mangler would have still been around. With my luck, it would have probably bounced back through me. Trolls move up. It's hard to tell here, but the Goblin on the Great Cave Squig is actually blocked pretty well by that building. He wasn't at first. Those dudes could get a charge in on me. You can barely see him there, the Blackguard. But when I move my Trolls up the way I did, he can't get into combat with them. Now, the Hydra could go in if he wants. I don't know if that's worth it for him. It is a BSB, so maybe. That was another one of those where I thought, maybe I should re-roll the distance and try to get a little shorter, but ended up not doing it. We go to the magic phase. I have 1 spell this time, and it is Brain Bursta. And so I can target his caster. I do, and I land a wound on her, which is pretty awesome. So she's got 1 wound left. Dark Elf's turn 1. Yup, he just walked his horsies right onto the Mangler. Blows him up. Charges the Hydra into the trolls, and so I moved my trolls up here because I was thinking, oh look, cool, I'm going to deploy him here. Yeah, I got regen, he's got regen, we'll just hold each other up, and eventually I'll win. I've played a Hydra like once before. It totally escaped me that they could have Flaming Breath. And spoilers, he does. Which is why he charged me. I did not know that this time. I'm like, that's weird. Why did he charge? Very weird. I mean, it's a regen on poopier regen. I'm going to win. He moves his Blackguard up and moves him a little too close to the building. So actually, on the next turn, he can't really move. We'll have to back up. He can't, like, wheel anywhere. But we just kind of fudge it because it's a friendly game. We go to the magic phase. It's 7 dice to... I have 7, he has 8. He throws Juiced Up Word of Pain so if that lands, he targets my trolls. That will reduce their weapon skill, initiative, they're already 1, and it will reduce their strength by D3. So I throw all 7 of my dice, because I'm not bound by the 6 dice cap to Dispel, and I fail to stop it. So that sucks, because I'm not going to hit it all, and I have no strength. But I look up the rules really quick, and thank God, the puke attack is always strength 5. So he can go first, he can take away my regen, but I'll be able to puke on him, and that will not be debuffed. Because it's not based on your stat. It's just puke is strength 5. So that's cool. He does something else in Magic Phase, but nothing really happens with it. I forget. On this side, he just shoots. You can see he moved his Dark Riders over. I don't, it's Speedhammer. We have bad pictures. He kills a good amount of them and, like, maybe 1 Night Goblin. So he's trying to... When he shoots at the unit, he has to roll to see which of the mixed unit it hits, and he wants to blow up the Night Goblin. He wants to kill the Night Goblin so the squigs blow up. But he doesn't really kill too many, and we just go forward. In close combat, so first off, he breathes on me, and that's when he's like, yeah, I've got my Flaming Breath weapon. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that thing. So he kills 2 whole trolls with it, removes the regen, and I decide to puke, because he rolled 2 on the D3. Well, he rolled a 3, but 2 points of weapon skill and strength removed. So I puke with the remaining 4, and I do nothing to him. That sucks. And I break, he fails to catch me by an inch, which is awesome, because if I can rally, I'm going to keep those points, and I got a bunch of guys ready to go on him. So we go to Greenskin's turn 2, and that's exactly what I do. I charge, and I get in the flank when we look at it under the microscope. I'm in the flank with the chariot, and the goblin, being random movement, can just turn to go where he wants. So I go into the flank. And that's going to go pretty well for me. We'll jump around a little bit here based on the pictures. In close combat, I destroy him. I get like 2 impact wounds off on him, and then, he's sitting on, what, 3 or 2, something like that left, and the goblin and the squig go to town. He's like, strength 5, Mamma Jamma, wah! And he just stabs him. It was awesome. I absolutely am in love with this model. Malorian, this guy's going to be great, especially when he's not my BSB. He'll be way great. So I kill him before he gets to go, I think. I forget what his initiative is. Anyway, so he's dead, and I'm feeling good. You can see my troll there has rallied, so I'm going to keep those points, and it's pretty great. On this page, it's just showing he couldn't get a charge off with his... How did that work? Yeah, I couldn't get a charge off on his Blackguard anywhere reliable, so I just move up and going to put the heat on him, going right through the building there, and the squigs are doing the same thing. And that's basically it for my turn. Oh, yeah, during Magic, I... throw a Brain Burster, trying to kill his caster again. I have 8 dice, he has 4. He gets double 6s and stops it. Dark Elf's turn 2, so he wants to get his caster out of there because I have nothing else I can shoot. And he moves his Blackguard up in such a way that I won't be able to clear and get into the caster. I kind of coached him in this one. He originally had his caster behind those 2 groups, and I'm like, yeah, but if you do your job well and you shoot those Night Goblins out, if I roll decent... or even average, she will take the D6 as she were her own unit. She would take the strength of the squigs exploding. So he got her as far away as she could. So yeah, we're playing friendly here. So everyone's set up for shooting. His Dark Riders move around at the bottom there, you can kind of see. This is where he wasn't able to actually get into contact and charge my Goblin because he got too close to the building, but we said friendly, and so we just nudged him, and he was able to get in with I think 3 on corner to corner there. And I can't react because I'm immune to psychology and I'm into movement and all that junk. So yeah, he's in on me there. In Magic, it's 8 dice to 4. He throws his little fireball ring first. I let that go because I'm thinking, nah, I gotta stop other stuff. Fireball ring, yeah, it'll take away regen, but it won't do much. And of course, the time that you let it go is the time he rolls a 6, and then so I get 5 wounds. Trolls are still there, but good lord. It was still the right call to make because I was scared of the rest of his magic phase, which I was able to shut down. He wasn't able to debuff anyone. And that's it for magic. You can see here the Dark Raiders had come around, and they take their shots and land 1 wound, killing the chariot, so he nets a couple points there. And in close combat, he is only able to do 1 wound to my my goblin, because I got a 3-up armor save. And that's pretty awesome. I do 3 to him. He's stubborn, so he sticks, but that's pretty great. And I'm feeling pretty decent about that, because, you know, on my turn I can charge and get in there and do everything I want to do, and against elves, I'm not too worried about losing my goblin. So we'll see. And on this flank, I didn't get a charge off of my turn. Like I told you, it was too far. And he just did a whole bunch of shooting. He had a Hail Mary here and did not kill. I mean, he's killed quite a few squigs, but I mean, you can tell they've only killed 3 night goblins to begin with. Just the way it goes with luck sometimes. And unfortunately, that was the end of the game. I told you, turn 2, my opponent played really slow. Not on purpose. Yeah, he's thinking about stuff, and the end creeps up on us beforehand. But I felt pretty decent about this game, even though I completely bumbled through it. I felt those squigs, whether he shot him or not, I was going to get in on him, blow up a whole bunch of them squishy elves. I still had tons of savages ready to go, and I was probably going to be able to eat his caster, even if I had to charge my caster out at her. Or just magic or, you know, something like that. So, yeah, I felt this one was going to be a win for me. That was Speedhammer, ladies and gentlemen. It was pretty fun. I hated the fact that I couldn't have lords, but I absolutely loved taking the Goblin Hero and the Cave Squig out for a roll. So, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, leave them below. See y'all.